Hey everyone, it is Shannon and I'm back for another movie video, and this one is going to be a double bill, and I actually know what I want to watch this time. I've been having a lot of fun doing the randomizer and my different systems for coming up with watching things randomly, but I realized there actually are some specific films that I also want to watch, and then I realized, hey, two of these have the same actor. I sense a double bill coming on, and this is going to be a Michael Fassbender double bill. So I'm going to watch two Michael Fassbender films, and the first of which, I don't know, if you don't know, you can actually use the Netflix search function to look up actors. See, he shows up there, Michael Fassbender. And so all of these movies have him. I'm actually only watching one Fassbender film that's on Netflix Canada, and that is this one, Trespass Among Us. This one, I don't know anything about it, but it also has Brendan Gleeson, whom I adore. I adore him. I will watch anything that Brendan Gleeson is in. In fact, if there was another Brendan Gleeson film that I hadn't seen on Netflix, I think I've seen them all, but this one, I would have totally done a Brendan Gleeson double bill. Isn't that funny? So this one, I don't know anything about it. It's just got this really intense picture. I think they're brothers or something. I don't know. Anyway, it caught my eye, so I'm gonna watch it. And I think I will leave. The camera's slowly but surely sinking. I'm gonna leave the second film as a mystery just as of now. If you can't resist and can't wait, it will be in the description, and I'll also put it in the cards. I've been trying to put trailers in with the cards, but just be forewarned that trailers are almost always spoilery, and if you're not sure about watching it, it's a good bit to just watch. I find a good method is just to watch the first less than half of whatever the trailer is. 30 seconds is usually enough to get a sense of the film for me, but you know, you might not mind. And also, I've been watching them right after I watch the movies, so that definitely gives a really it always feels spoilery, but literally, like, there was one that I watched and there was only one trailer, and it shows like the last moment, and I'm like, you can't do that. That's a big no-no in my opinion. Anyway, trailers aside, Michael Fassbender double bill coming up. First is going to be Trespass Among Us. I will watch it, and then I will come back and tell you what I thought. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Okay, quick notation. I just realized it's called Trespass Against Us. Against Us. So not amongst us or among us. I don't remember what I said before. It's Trespass Against Us is the film. So, all right, see you in a sec. All right, I am back, and I have watched Trespass Against Us, and this ended up being a fantastic film. I'm really happy with this choice. It is a crime drama following a crime family that is led by Brendan Gleeson and his son, Michael Fassbender, and Michael Fassbender's wife and kids, and there's a bunch of other people and families in a part of this sort of crime. It's a crime family, but it's also a group. Some of the people are sort of like created family, and some are like blood family, which is, I always like that. I always like that sort of like group of misfits kind of thing. But I was totally wrong thinking that Michael Fassbender and Brendan Gleeson played brothers. And I even was like, really, is that possible that they're supposed to be father and son? And like, I know it's a movie and you believe what people, like what is presented, but I had to look it up, and they are 22 years apart. I totally would not have picked up on that. I thought they were much closer in age. And of course, people that are 22 years apart still can be siblings, but they also can be father-son, which is what the characters are here. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. It is a bit harsh as it follows a crime family, and that does tend to be the case. And especially because Chad, which is Michael Fassbender's character, he wants to sort of get out of crime, and as his kids are starting to grow up, wants them to have a bit of a better life and not just sort of feed into doing all the things that the family does and have better opportunities and stuff like that. But his dad is not really, having it, and there's a pretty subtle, sophisticated power struggle going on between them. So overall, I really enjoyed it, and I was really happy that I picked it. And but there's two things that I would just say for people watching it, because people have different sensitivities. There is a crap ton of swearing in this, like so much, and just like fluid within the language, not as sort of like an escalating and aggressive thing, which is when the swearing bothers me. And that's mostly more in person that than like in a movie. But I know that that doesn't work for everyone. It's just prevalent throughout. And I did find sometimes that it was hard to understand in terms of the accents and the slang. Not so much between the leads, but with the extended family, there were some of the guys, they were really hard to understand. And even when I turned on the subtitles, which I did sort of like on again, off again, I was like, I see and I'm reading this word and I have no idea what these words are. So that was a little crazy. But it was good. I'm glad I gave myself a little bit extra time to watch it, because turning them on again and off again and going back a little bit and rewatching stuff meant that it took a little longer to watch. So this was like an hour and 39 minutes, and I gave myself 2 hours, and I think that that was good. I also made a tea in the middle of it, so, which I don't normally do. I was a little more distracted in this one, but I still enjoyed it a lot. So it was a really great watch. So that's one, oh, I was going to say book one. I'm so used to talking about books. So that's film one of my Michael Fassbender Double Bill, and I'm curious if anyone has figured out what my second one is. Now, it's not on Netflix. I rented it from Google Play. If you have a PlayStation, you can, wow, the colors went horrible there. You can use the YouTube app to watch your Google Play purchases. You can watch them in YouTube, because Google and YouTube are as one. Okay, so let's see if it pops up first, hopefully. It's in library. It is not there. No, it's in, should be in library. It should be in library. Where is it? It should be in purchases. There it is! Can you see it? Can you tell what it is? Can you tell what it is? Assassin's Creed. Yes, Assassin's Creed. Wah. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. So there we go. Assassin's Creed is the second, not Elf. Assassin's Creed is the second Michael Fassbender film that I am going to be watching. I am so looking forward to this. I really wanted to see it when it was out in the theater, but when I realized it was out during the holidays-ish, I knew I wasn't going to get out to it, because getting to see stuff in winter with the weather is really, really challenging. Wow, that got so much darker. There we go. So, yes, Assassin's Creed. I played Syndicate a little bit, but that's the only one of the games that I've played, and I quite enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to this. I think this is one of those ones that's really funny, because, like, it's all the people that did the Macbeth, both Fassbender and Marion Cotillard were in Macbeth, and they're in this, and it's the same director, Justin, is it Kurzel? Who directed Snowtown, which is a fantastic but completely harrowing film. So I'm really curious to see what this is like. And I haven't actually heard too much about it, but I've been looking forward to it so much. I'm so excited. I have my popcorn. I have my cup of tea. I am all ready to enjoy Assassin's Creed. I really hope that I like it. All right, I'll be back in a bit. Thanks for watching. All right, I am back, and I have finished watching Assassin's Creed. Can I get the title up there? Yay, there we go, Assassin's Creed. And this was so much fun. I had so much fun watching this movie. I can't even tell you, but I am going to attempt to tell you, because that's the whole point of this. And as I mentioned before, I've only watched or tried playing one of the games, so the whole, like, how the whole Assassin's Creed thing works doesn't really make that much sense to me. Is like people go back, they attach to a machine, and then they somehow go back into history and are able to access their ancestors who are assassins, or if they are assassins, and then do stuff. In the games, allows them to go to different settings and different timelines in history. One of the things I found a little confusing about the film, though, is that it said that, at least on one part, they said that you can't change what happens. You can only go to experience what happens. And of course, because it's based on a game, that I got confused about that, because when you play the game, you do stuff and you can do whatever you want. Sure, you're supposed to do the quests or whatever, but like, you can go left instead of right. You're not just, an observer. So, but that was part of the story in this one. And so there's sort of like the two timelines. There's the timeline of the present, and then there's the timeline of where the assassins go back to, and the main character of this one goes back to 1492. anyone who has any recollection of things that happened in 1492 probably has a sense of where that's going. But actually, I thought it's really weird. Because there's an interesting discussion in this one about free will and violence and society. But I often, when they were talking about it, I kind of felt like, aren't you contradicting each other? I'm not understanding how this whole, like, how they're talking about, you know, accessing free will and like and then removing violence from society. And I'm like, how can you do those two things at the same time? So that was a little confusing. It made sense as the film went on, but I still am kind of going like, huh, because that's an interesting philosophical, you know, question about violence in society and, you know, what you can do to counter it. And then, but then it's also kind of like, because like it's all about the assassins, it's kind of like, they, you know, are assassins, and their one of their big mottos is um, everything is permitted. And I'm like, so that's like the free will part. Does that include violence? What's going on here? Anyway, so I found that a bit confusing. But overall, this was so much fun. Michael Fassbender was actually really great in this. And I also like Marion Cotillard, although I often do have trouble understanding what she's saying. I found that very, very much so in Macbeth. Not so much in this one, but sometimes. And then there was a great cast. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, Jeremy Irons is in this. Charlotte Rampling is in this. I love Charlotte Rampling. The guy who plays Omar from The Wire is in this. Like, there are just so many people. And there's something else I want to say about that, but I'll leave it till the very, very, very end, because it's a bit of a spoiler, so I don't want to say anything right just now, because I'm still talking about the movie. But overall, it was, you know, I had so much fun. I'm not, like, it's not the best movie in the world, but it was better than I expected. I don't remember hearing too many people talking about it. One of the things I loved about it is like the production design, and like a lot of that I'm sure is taken from and inspired by the games. They have like whole worlds created, but it's so gorgeous, and the colors and the music in this was phenomenal, and just it was so good. Like, I had so much enjoyment, pure enjoyment, from visually watching the film. I thought that, and there was I'm sure there's lots of nods to the game and stuff like that that I totally missed. There was a couple things I'm kind of like, oh, you're supposed to be able to tell who that is, aren't you? Like, I have no idea who that is, but you're supposed to be able to tell who that is, and lots of fun things like that I'm sure that fans of the game got to pick up on, that I was just mostly going, I can tell this is important or fun in some way. I didn't feel like I was missing out. It didn't feel confusing, like the whole um, plot. I'll probably watch it again and be like, oh, because it does have sort of two timelines, and a lot of the characters play two people, and there is a bit of a mystery element to it that I was kind of doing the head scratching thing on. So anyway, that was so much fun. This was a great double bill, great Michael Fassbender double bill. There's one more thing I want to say, but I just want to leave it until for people that have either both seen both of the films or don't want or don't care about spoilers, and I'm going to say that now and just give you a little beat. Press pause if you are doing other things while you're watching this. Anyway, so the one thing that this ended up totally being a Michael Fassbender and Brendan Gleeson double bill, because Brendan Gleeson is in the film, and not only is he in the film, he plays Michael Fassbender's dad. So this is a hilarious little father-son double bill for Michael Fassbender and Brendan Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson was not in Assassin's Creed that much, but I couldn't believe when it was him. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, this is such a great moment. So it just added that extra layer that made it so much fun. So this ended up being so, like, a really great time. I think I might do this double bill thing again. And as it turned out, it was just semi-recently in early April. It was Michael Fassbender's birthday. So happy birthday to Michael Fassbender. And I might do that. I might just pick an actor and see if I can find two films that they are in and do this again. If there's anyone that you think would be fun to do a double bill of, let me know. And I will be back with another video about movies or books sometime probably very soon. All right, thank you so much for watching.